Born in Alaska, but raised in Arkansas, and moved to South Georgia in high school. We have 2 boys, 13 and 15.
I was born in Snellville, Georgia, and attended grade school in Snellville, Gwinnett County, and ended up going to the University of Georgia. And from there, I spent a career in the medical device industry. I have represented medical device companies from sales to sales management capacities, mainly specialized in regenerative medicine technologies, from general to plastic surgery.
I was a teacher for 10 years, and most recently a special ed teacher. Now I'm going to be at home helping on our farm. Our older son shows cows, and he shows Herefords. So we currently are growing a herd. It's a lot of work, but we enjoy being outside and working with our animals. We also have horses, chickens, dogs. It's a lot to maintain, but we enjoy it.
Work the farm as much as I can, but it's really her job, and she does all the work. So she's all of our inspirations around here, and certainly in more ways than just how she's involved in the farm, for sure.
I felt a lump in my left breast when doing a self-exam in the shower one evening, and my yearly checkup was coming up in a couple of weeks, so I had that yearly mammogram. They then took me to see a diagnostic mammogram, just a little more in-depth pictures, did a biopsy, and received a phone call that it was positive. My first reaction was I needed to call my husband.
I was in Miami in a medical conference and got the phone call. As I've stated before, it is just not a phone call any husband ever wants to get. I had spent over 15 years in the medical industry, ironically in breast cancer, as it pertains to breast cancer and post-mastectomy surgical procedures. But I was floored. As a husband, you have all this knowledge, but at the end of the day, you have to process that in a very human way.
The initial shock of, okay, how do we get this out of my body and move on? And when every time you hear the cancer, the big C word, it makes you nervous and afraid of what's to come.
Right away, I started making calls to sales reps that I knew for medical companies, manufacturers of breast implants, asking them very detailed and specific questions about their respective technologies. Tell me anything you can tell me that I can convey to a plastic or general surgeon. We had the option, the surgical option, of both a lumpectomy and a mastectomy, and that was really Melissa's choice. But we talked about it, we prayed about it, and in concert with our general surgeon, finally decided, well, lumpectomy seems to be the best route.
Absolutely, I had an advantage with my husband being in the medical industry. I knew that he knew breast surgeons and had industry contacts of people that with different types of implants and technologies and procedures that we could utilize to see what was going to be the best option for what needed to be done.
But even with lumpectomy, there are technologies. In fact, there's a technology that I couldn't find out information about, right? That's available today that wasn't available, 2 years ago. That's the pace and the rate to which technologies advance. Being in the medical industry, I saw it firsthand. I saw patients on the operating table and always asked myself, how much information were they able to obtain about all the product technologies out there that exist? So when we're talking to our general surgeon, we were talking to our plastic surgeon, it gave us the opportunity to ask them, not to challenge them, but to simply elevate the discussion to say, have you heard about this implant? What implant do you recommend? I happen to speak to this particular medical company and they have this new implant. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it.
I felt very confident going into our appointment and discussing with the surgeon the technologies that Carrie knew about and had spoken with his contacts about. Some of the technologies our doctor was very aware of, and some of them we brought to his attention. For me, it was very empowering and gave me a great sense of confidence to know that we had this information going into the surgery and going into even just to speak with the doctor, the initial consultation on what the next steps were going to be. And for something that's going to be put in your body, I think that's very important to know exactly what's being put in your body and to know the options that are out there, because what may have been right for me may not be right for the next person.
So I want all individuals to feel the same kind of empowerment Melissa and I felt when we stepped foot in front of our general and plastic surgeon. The ability to understand thoroughly the options you have from a technological perspective. And this is why I'm so excited about MEDcraze and what it provides individuals. And it's Melissa's story, and truly the story of a lot of individuals out there that are dealing with the same situation Melissa and I have dealt with, that inspired me to start MEDcraze. It was our collective journey for sure. I just felt honored and blessed that I could be that resource for her.